Hi, Vijay Mistry here, and thank you for joining me in the first video of the three-part free video series on how you can become a highly effective entrepreneur, director, executive, manager, partner, or professional. This is exclusively for private companies globally. So if you're a limited company, family-owned business, sole proprietor, partnership, in any sector and industry, you are in the right place. Let's move straight into this first company, which was a coffee export company, which went from success to struggle to failure. This one particular company was owned by this one individual who was in his early 30s. He was really switched on, he was intellectual, he had a business model in place, but these are the reasons he gave as to why his company struggled and ultimately failed. The first reason that he gave is not enough cash flows. Because it was a coffee export company, the margins were low. So this was a key problem, and he didn't feel that there were enough cash flows to have a sustainable operation. The second reason he gave was operational challenges. One of the key reasons is that he had a problem with the procedures, the operational activities which were taking place. Staff were not coming on time, or there were other problems within the whole process which delayed and hampered the processing of the final activities in his coffee export business. And this was another key reason why he believed that he ultimately failed. The third reason that he gave was too much for too less. He felt that he was doing so much work that it was not really value for money. Now, these are his version of the key reasons why he believed his company failed. And you may be able to reflect some of these problems you might have experienced or you may have noticed in other companies in your jurisdiction. So these are some of the common reasons that directors, executives, owners give. Let's move to the next one, a manufacturing organization. Now, this was a successful manufacturing organization which went into a struggle. In this particular case, it was a family-owned business, and the CEO, who was part owner of this organization, gave these reasons as to why his company started struggling. The first reason he gave was more competition. There were new entrants to the market, and there were these individuals who had lesser overheads who were coming into the market and offering competitive prices to what they were giving. So that was a key problem that he had. The second problem was debt management. He was according credit facilities to his clients and customers, and there were these terms of 60 days or 90 days in his organizations, but they were not complying, or they were not really meeting these deadlines, and they were spilling over, and that led him into having liquidity problems. The third problem was staff not doing enough. He felt his staff were not really supporting him, they were not collaborating, they were not communicating properly, and they were not really giving the contribution that he really required. This was not at any one level, but at all levels, including management. This is what the staff complained about: no recognition. Staff did not feel recognized, they did not feel appreciated, they didn't have that oneness, and they didn't feel they were part of the organization. This was a key problem that staff expressed concern about. The second reason was overworked and underpaid. They believed they were overworked and underpaid. They felt they were working more hours but not really paid the right amount. There wasn't that balance taking place. And third one, which is likability. Now, this is a key problem. What they believed, and what one of the reasons they expressed concern about, is the fact that the seniors, leaders in the organization, liked a few personnel within the organization. There was this reliance taking place. There were just these few people they were comfortable talking with, and they felt that they were isolated and they were not part of the collaboration team. There were some other people who were taking credit as well. So that is the key problem which had a negative impact to the growth of this organization. And the fourth problem was a big one, which was fear. They always feared that their bosses were moody. So they feared of being fired, they feared of being told off, and they feared that new things were coming in, new activities, new functions, new systems were being introduced without their collaboration, without their communication. They always feared that something uncertain was happening in the organization, and they were very uneasy about this whole activity and operations. Let's move forward to the third company, which was in the hospitality industry, and how that company went from success to stagnation. The first key reason, the CEO, and in this case, he was the owner of the organization, he mentioned that his team members lacked the competence to drive the organization forward. They did not have enough traction, and they didn't have the skill sets to really help him forge forward. The second reason was bad economy. The political situation, the external conditions, the new regulations coming in, and all the other external pressures coming in resulted in him believing that there was this bad economy out there. And that was the other key reason why they went from success to stagnation. And the third reason he gave was he couldn't control everything. He believed that he was doing so much, yet he could not control everything. Now, this is the staff version and the staff complaints. They believe the boss was very good in the past. He was giving incentives, he was looking after them, he was treating them well, but he no longer was what he was in the past. So that was a key reason that the staff complained about. Another reason was not enough salary. Now again, this is another key problem. They believed that they were doing so much, yet the pay that they were given was not consistent to their capability and what they could do. And the third reason they gave was no motivation. They felt there was this mental flatline. There was no sort of traction, there was no momentum, there was no progression. It was just business as usual, and they felt stagnated. That was the key reason. They were just not motivated, and that led to their productivity not as effective as the owner wanted. So my dear friends, in the next video, I'm going to share with you the real problems identified. You might be wondering that, look, what I've discussed so far seems to be quite common, and this is a common pattern. But it's very important to realize what's in the mindset of CEOs. CEO and executive mindset is very important. The reason I'm sharing these points with you is for you to just get a grasp and a feel of what it is. In the next video, I'm going to share with you the blunt truth of what I believe are the true reasons why these companies struggled, stagnated, and failed. So I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you very much.